Strange New Worlds is a better version of what Star Trek Discovery was trying to be. When Star Trek Discovery premiered in 2017, it carried the heavy burden of resurrecting a franchise that hadn't been on television in over a decade. Its goal was clear: modernize Star Trek for a new generation while honoring the legacy of the original series. It was an ambitious, bold, and visually striking reintroduction to the Star Trek universe. But for all its ambition, Discovery often struggled to find a balance between innovation and tradition. Enter Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the spin-off that wasn't originally meant to be, but became the show fans didn't know they were craving. Spinning off from Discovery's second season and focusing on the USS Enterprise under Captain Christopher Pike, Strange New Worlds has emerged as the show that fulfills the promise Discovery made, but couldn't quite deliver. It's not just that Strange New Worlds is good television. It's that it understands Star Trek's soul better than its parent series did. It's a better version of what Discovery was trying to be from the start. Discovery's aspirations were noble, but misdirected. To be fair, Star Trek Discovery wasn't trying to be bad. In fact, its creators tried too hard to make it great. With an aggressive serialized format, massive narrative stakes, and a focus on trauma, war, and redemption, Discovery approached Star Trek like a prestige cable drama. It positioned itself somewhere between Battlestar Galactica and Game of Thrones, prioritizing long-running arcs, cliffhangers, and emotional turmoil over science fiction parables and episodic exploration. In many ways, this made sense for its time. Prestige TV was in full bloom in 2017. Serialized storytelling was the rule, not the exception. But Discovery's structure and tone often clashed with what made Star Trek enduring in the first place: its optimism, its curiosity, and its capacity for moral exploration. Moreover, the show's devotion to constant reinvention, jumping forward in time, reworking characters, reshaping canon, often left it feeling like it was running from its own identity. While Discovery was busy trying to reshape the mold of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds quietly stepped in and simply embraced it. Strange New Worlds embraces the old formula and makes it fresh. Strange New Worlds understood something fundamental. Star Trek works best when it's about people exploring the unknown, facing strange phenomena, and making ethical decisions in extraordinary circumstances. By returning to an episodic format, each week a new planet, a new problem, a new idea, Strange New Worlds instantly felt more aligned with the classic series than anything Discovery attempted. But this wasn't just nostalgia. Strange New Worlds updated the episodic format for the modern age. Each character got meaningful development across episodes. Themes of identity, sacrifice, and duty were explored with depth and nuance. The show used its structure not as a constraint, but as a strength. The result was a first season that felt cohesive yet flexible, allowing for tonal experimentation like the light-hearted fairy tale episode, The Elysian Kingdom, or the horror-inspired All Those Who Wander, without losing sight of the show's heart. While Discovery often felt like it was pushing against Star Trek's history, Strange New Worlds used that history as a foundation to build something both reverent and refreshing. Pike is the Captain Discovery wanted Burnham to be. One of the most striking differences between the two shows lies in their commanding officers. Discovery centered on Michael Burnham, a character who began as a mutineer and later rose to captain. While Sonequa Martin Green is a compelling performer, Burnham's journey often felt narratively forced, constantly shifting roles, personalities, and motivations to fit whatever plot twist the show needed. Captain Christopher Pike, on the other hand, came into Strange New Worlds fully formed. Played with effortless charisma and gravitas by Anson Mount, Pike is compassionate, courageous, and collaborative. He embodies the ideal of Starfleet leadership, not through tortured monologues or explosive action, but through empathy and integrity. He listens. He trusts his crew. He leads with hope. In a way, Pike is the modern embodiment of Gene Roddenberry's original vision: ethical, curious, and wise. Where Burnham often feels like she's carrying the galaxy on her shoulders and being told that by the script constantly, Pike just gets the job done, even while knowing his tragic fate. That calm assurance permeates the entire tone of Strange New Worlds, making it feel more like a team-driven ensemble than a vehicle for a single protagonist. The crew is truly a crew, not just a supporting cast. Discovery often failed to give its bridge crew meaningful depth. Characters like Detmer, Osekin, and Bryce had moments, but rarely arcs. Instead, the spotlight remained fixed on a handful of leads, with the rest of the crew orbiting them like set dressing. Strange New Worlds makes every character count. From number 1 Rebecca Romijn to Spock Ethan Peck, from Nurse Chapel Jess Bush to Lon Noonien Singh Christina Chong, each member of the crew feels like a fully realized person with distinct motivations, flaws, and relationships. Over time, they reveal layers that feel earned, not expositional. More importantly, the show gives them the space to grow. One week, Lon is confronting her traumatic past. The next, she's navigating time travel and confronting her feelings for Kirk. Nurse Chapel, far from being a background figure, becomes a vital presence, quirky, bold, and vulnerable in equal measure. Where Discovery seemed to fear ensemble storytelling, Strange New Worlds thrives in it. A visual and tonal balance that actually works. Both shows look spectacular. There's no denying Discovery elevated Star Trek's visual language with cinematic flair. But Strange New Worlds takes that same production value and marries it to a tone that's warmer, more colorful, and more inviting. The Enterprise bridge is a wonder of design, modern, sleek, but instantly recognizable. Costumes blend functionality and flair. Alien worlds are imaginative and immersive. But unlike Discovery, which often drowned in its own visual spectacle, Strange New Worlds uses its visuals to support storytelling, not overwhelm it. Tonally, too, Strange New Worlds finds a sweet spot. It can be funny without being silly. It can be tragic without being grimdark. It embraces Starfleet's utopian ideals without ignoring the costs. It allows joy, wonder, and even camp when appropriate, something Discovery, with its constant crises and universe-ending stakes, often lacked. A better relationship with canon. One of Discovery's most contentious elements was its relationship to Star Trek canon. It often bent, retconned, or disregarded long-established lore in the name of narrative freedom. That led to confusion and frustration, especially among longtime fans. Strange New Worlds takes the opposite approach. It lovingly plays within the canon sandbox. Rather than rewriting the past, it recontextualizes it. Spock's complicated humanity, Kirk's early career, the Gorn's terrifying biology, these elements are explored with care and imagination, enriching the mythology without breaking it. Even more impressively, the show knows how to foreshadow rather than retrofit. Pike's tragic fate is not retconned away, it's embraced. That tension adds real weight to the character and his decisions. Similarly, legacy characters like Kirk and Spock are handled with surprising nuance, showing who they were before they became legends. It's a masterclass in prequel storytelling, respectful, inventive, and never lazy. Strange New Worlds has fun, and Star Trek should be fun. Perhaps the most important distinction, Strange New Worlds is fun. Not in a shallow, Marvel quippy way, but in a sincere, joyful sense. There's a delight in watching this crew go boldly. There's laughter, romance, even musical numbers. Yes, a musical episode is coming. And yet, it never